Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐑𝐄𝐔, where we talk about investing, finance, and professional development. So current time approximately 3 p.m. on Eastern Time on September 15th on Thursday. Hope you guys have a good week so far, a good midweek day so far as well. On the overall crypto market and the equity market, we are across the board relatively down on the crypto side, obviously with the correlation effects from the Ethereum 2.0 merge, the buy the rumor, sell the news type of affectation dragging the collective crypto market to go down from here. But with respect to the overall equity market, we also down, but not as severely. Seems so, obviously knowingly, the bulk of the catalyst that we've been experiencing so far is with respect to the CPI report and the PPI report that we have experienced so far. But it's kind of watered down because we have a negative CPI report. I guess a pseudo moderately positive PPI report. And with respect to the elongation of the timing that we have until next week on the 20th and the 21st on the FOMC meeting, we'll see how that goes, right? In addition to that, I'm actually going to the U.S. United Nations conference next week in New York, and based on the agenda that I see in front of me, I see that Joe Biden is going to be giving a speech sometimes next week, early next week on the 20th. So not sure what he's going to talk about. I haven't seen like a specific summary or the synopsis of what he's going to be talking about, but it seems like I will be experiencing and possibly even getting to meet him because it is a closed door event, invite only, so I'm very excited. In addition to that, as of today, this is going to be an announcement that's coming out shortly. Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. So I'm an official board of advisor to his holding company, which we will deal with artist agency management, sports management, investing, which my bread and butter, but also to manage his financial assets as well on behalf of his clients, but also his own personal capital as well. So I look forward to collaborating with him. Obviously, he's an NBA Lakers legend, so I look forward to spending some time with him on a business perspective as well. And look at some news in front of me. I'm just looking at CNBC right now. Seems like Bed Bath & Beyond is closing about 150 stores. And they need to do that because of obviously inflationary pressure, higher debt payment for the real estate front on a capex perspective, and obviously 150 store it is a sizable one, right? And I don't know the mix, the diversification between, is it rental like a lease, or is it more like a purchase, like a real estate holding? I would assume the 150 stores would be very similar, would be more leaning towards the leasing side because that's like sunk cost, right? You just have to pay for it. And this is a very similar dynamic. I used to work in investing for large companies. So I was on the board of a company called 24 Hour Fitness. Not sure if you guys know about it. And during the downturn, during the pandemic, they had to close down a huge amount of gym, and the concentrations of the gym that they closed down was in certain geographic location that is away from the metropolitan area. That's number one. But also, most of these are lease or rental properties rather than actual purchasing of the real estate assets, right? So they don't technically hold anything. And also it's difficult for gym members to be going to gym during the pandemic. Obviously, it will be so that's just like a double whammy effect. So we actually didn't make that much money on that deal, which is definitely difficult, right? A big ship also sinks really, really massively at the same time. So it is what it is. I learned a lot about that experience. And seems like another news before I dive into technical is with respect to Adobe. It seems like the shares have plunged on the deal to acquire the design platform Figma for $20 billion. Okay, it is what it is. Seems like investors don't really like that. They want to be, I mean, I get it, right? You probably are buying on a discount, but the downturn, people will be thinking that, hey, management team, you guys should be more cautious. Like, why are you spending $20 billion onto, buying a company that is still relatively more of a startup stage, I guess. But they have their own synergistic reason. So what am I doing now? So let's just dive into technical with respect to recording time of 3:01 p.m. on Eastern time on September 15 on Thursday. Hope you guys have a good day so far. I'm about to head out in an hour to go to my school to give a speech later tonight. So I'm quite excited for it. And with respect to Ethereum, it's at 1,000, basically 500 at the moment. Remember, the technical support level is 1450. So we are, like, again, if you give the benefit of the doubt, that's basically where we are right now. We are trying to sustain and rebound, or an attempt to rebound, not actual one. But you can see that inertia across the board on the daily is very negative. You can see that the needle's pointing down, RSI is pointing down as well. And then on a weekly, you could see that we have a separation, so it needs to kind of cross down before we cross up. Double head, right? Which also translate that we should see some more downsell going forward. But monthly looks quite bullish. But you have to kind of take a look at this, right? You need to kind of glide down to form a plateau before we can ramp up. We don't just like go sharply in one shot of just like reversing the needle, right? Respect to Bitcoin at 19,500. So right now is gliding right now, right? Weekly is fusing together on also a double head again, just like Ethereum. So they trade quite comparably. So it's still bearish on this weekly front. Daily front is very bearish. You have this like upward wedge, so now it's looking to kind of cross down eventually. So it's okay. It's not the most ideal setup, right? But seeing lower levels of like 17,500, 15,500 again, right? 10,000 would be the next monumental support, right? $9,000 away from here. I'm not saying we'll get there, but if we keep elongating, and if the Feds don't really get the things together, we still continue to be like very reactive and nothing proactive going on onto making it better. It's very likely that we will continue to go there, and after again, right, 1,000, we'll head all the way to 3,000, which is quite significant of a drop, right? Hopefully we don't get there, but it is what it is. But if it does, right, we will have to be patient and buy in on the respective dollar cost average levels. But we'll revisit by then. I don't think we'll actually get there, because technically that doesn't quite make sense at all. Okay, so appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day. We are about like 50 minutes away from market closing. So it's been a rough day, which is expected, right? To buy the rumor, sell the news. But it should revive and get better over time. So let's just keep our optimism going. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Take care.